And so I got a little bored with the regular backdrop, the regular set. I thought it'd be fun to take this outside. Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's A some cues. I like how this thing is supposed to be holding the tree, but it's not actually touching it, so it's more like, whoa, like, if you fall down, I'm there for you. I got you. No, you got this on your own, but in case you fall down, I got you. First question comes from Valerie, the master of chess, by the way. I want to know more about your opinion on Doctor Who. Many people suggested it as a good show, especially the new version, which started in 2005, but others said it was too childish and unreal. Well, it's a show about time-traveling aliens, so I mean, it's pretty legit. So actually, one of the reasons that I didn't do a Doctor Who video so far on this channel is because I feel that I have too much to say about Doctor Who. Doctor Who is one of my favorite things of all time. It's more than my favorite show. As I said before, my favorite show is Sons of Anarchy, but Doctor Who is kind of my fandom, if you will. I did find Doctor Who to be very divisive, if that's a word. I mean, a lot of people either love it or just, you know, completely dismiss it as you said, childish or cheesy, stuff like that. Can it be cheesy? Yes, definitely, at times. Is every episode of Doctor Who great? No, there are some legitimately bad episodes here and there. I'm looking at you, that Matt Smith episode with the ghost ship. I don't remember exactly which season or which episode it was, but I remember it not being great. And I think it's difficult to fall in love with Doctor Who based on a few episodes. I think it's just one of those shows, but it's also one of those shows that if you do end up falling in love with it, it's incredible and it's emotional and it's insightful, and it's one of the most gratifying watches personally that I've ever experienced. I think experiencing Doctor Who is more about the show as a whole and the character of the Doctor as a whole, rather than any one specific episodes, although there are some really great episodes out there. As I said, I have too much to say about Doctor Who. That's it. I will be making a Doctor Who video soon. Next question is, good to see you back. Thanks. I just wanted to ask, what's your favorite Netflix original comedy special? I haven't watched all of them, or I think I haven't watched most of them, but I did watch the latest one from Aziz Ansari, and it's really, really good. I mean, I think that I enjoyed more hearing his opinions about things rather than the actual comedy, but I really liked it nevertheless. Oh yeah, this looks like a good spot. We're gonna hang out here for a while. Next question is from Alexander, and he asks, do you always just finish binge watching one season of a show before moving on to the next show or the next season? Well, I guess it really depends on the show. Usually not, though. Usually I'll have a few shows that I'm watching concurrently, like one show that is very heavy and serious, like House of Cards or something, and another show that's more funny or lighthearted or more like just, you know, dumb action, just to kind of turn off my brain and see something fun. But it really depends on the show, right? So, for example, when I watched 24, I pretty much watched 8 seasons of 24 in just about 8 days. And it's not that 24 is the greatest show of all time. I mean, season 1 of 24 is a TV masterpiece, but it's just one of those shows that always keeps you on edge. So I just couldn't watch anything else without knowing what happens in the next episode. What was the question again? Next question comes from Becky, and she asks about TV show pet peeves and if I have any plans to travel to the UK anytime soon. So, as some of you may know, my dad lives in Germany, so I'm really hoping that I'll get around to visiting him pretty soon. But that's not in the UK, that's just in Europe. So that was stupid. No, I guess I don't have any plans to travel to the UK, but if I'll have the opportunity, I'll take it. And as far as TV show pet peeves go, I mean, the thing that I think bugs me the most in TV shows is anything that has to do with hackers or technology in general, or, you know, how computers work, stuff like that. So whenever you see a hacker that's just like banging away at a keyboard and not even doing anything like, you know, hitting space or enter or moving the mouse, and just windows are popping up and stuff happen, and can you cross-reference the frigibur with the burr, and they're like, yeah, done, here it is. That really gets me, especially if it's in like a serious show. And season 2 of House of Cards, there's a point where they kind of do that, which just like took me out of it immediately. But any cop show, they do it in all the cop shows, and it always just like gives me just a bit, yeah, but I don't really mind. Next question comes from Wquad, W-Quad, this anyway. What's your job? I'm a product marketing manager for a software company. Binge watching versus weekly show. I'll let the name of the channel answer that one. What's your favorite snack when binge watching? This one. When you don't have any new shows to binge watch, what do you do with your free time? The day I run out of shows, I will let you know. But don't get me wrong, it's not like I sit around and just watch shows all day. I will enjoy the occasional movie as well. What franchise would you like to see made into a TV series? You mean other than the Fast and the Furious? I can think of any right now, but I think that the girl with the dragon tattoo would make a pretty interesting TV show, or like a mini series. Sven is asking, how excited are you for the new Star Wars and James Bond movies? Not so excited for the James Bond movie, I have to say. Just, you know, I'll probably watch it, but I'm not just super pumped for it. And I wasn't excited for The Force Awakens until, just like everybody else, I saw the amazing trailer that they dropped for it, and now I am super excited for it. And I think it totally rekindled my love for the franchise. I was never a huge Star Wars fan, but I think that I might be after this movie if it's as good as the trailer is making it out to be. A username that's probably too long for me to try to pronounce is asking, what show are you watching right now? Right now I'm watching season 2 of House of Cards, which is good, but it's not as good as season 1 of House of Cards. And I'm also watching iZombie, which is, so far, I am absolutely loving it. So far, it's really, really great. I'm gonna post a review for it, I'm hoping next week. Mr. Anderson is asking, has there ever been a show that you started watching but gave up on? Also, which show has the best soundtrack? Best soundtrack has to go to Sons of Anarchy. Incredible soundtrack. Even if you haven't watched the show or you didn't like the show, listen to the soundtrack because it's absolutely incredible. And a show that I gave up on, the first one that comes to mind is Heroes, both Heroes, the original run, and now Heroes Reborn. I mean, I'll probably watch Heroes Reborn all the way through because I want to talk about it on this channel, but otherwise I wouldn't, because it fell into the exact same pitfalls as the original run. The original one, I watched season 1, season 2, and then it kind of lost me. Callum Milner asks, name the top 5 TV shows you've ever seen. Wow, why didn't you just ask me what the meaning of life is? This is a hard one. I would say, I think, number 5 is Archer. Number 4 is Breaking Bad. Number 3 is Oz. Number 2 is Sons of Anarchy. Number 1 is Doctor Who. Or, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that one. But do you realize what you just did to me? Because there are so many other great shows that deserve to be on that list, like Justified, for example, or just, you know, like at least 15 other amazing shows. And now I'm gonna be thinking about that list forever. So thanks, Callum Milner. Varen S asks, could you review Breaking Bad? I want to hear your thoughts about it. The fact that you want to hear my thoughts about a certain show is amazing. Thank you for that. And the reason that I haven't reviewed Breaking Bad so far is because I felt that there was a general consensus about how great it was. I can definitely make a video about it, I can definitely review it, but it would be more, you know, just as an explanation of why I thought it was a great show, which I felt there's so much of. But I think I could definitely find some, I don't know, maybe some insights about it that will give you my perspective about the show and why I personally thought it was a good show and why I don't think it's the best show ever, but apparently it's in my top 5. I'm probably gonna butcher this username as well, but Xander Barajas asks if I've seen House MD and if I like it. I'm not a big fan of House MD because I'm not a big fan of any show where it's extremely episodic, and my problem with watching House is that every time I've watched an episode of House, it felt like I was watching the same episode of House. I know that in the later seasons there's more of a personal story, but I really hate watching a show from the middle, and I just couldn't get through all the seasons where every episode was just, you know, the same thing over and over again. Domino asks, have you seen House of Cards? You should review it because it's Netflix and supposedly the god of binge watching. Well, Domino, I agree, and I have watched season 1 of House of Cards, and right now I'm watching season 2 of House of Cards, and that is actually the next review I'll be posting after this video. Ravager asks, are you a Game of Thrones fan? Not really. I mean, obviously I watch the show just like everybody else, but I've never had a very deep connection with the show. I actually made a video about it if you want to check it out. Pork Chop Review asks once again, how was your day? Well, my day is great. I mean, I got out of the house, I went to the park, I'm making a video. What possibly could be better? So that's gonna be it for the second ever Binge Watchers Q&A. There were actually a lot more of your great questions that I didn't have time to get around to before my battery on my phone died and my battery on my camera is about to die, and I'm not completely sure that I know where I am right now, so I should probably find my way home. Anyway, there are enough questions to do a part 2 for this Q&A, or, you know, just like the third Q&A. I think I'm gonna make it like a monthly thing. Yeah, we'll talk about it in the next video. In any case, keep binging, and I will see you later. I apologize for that because I thought that I notified the nearby airport that this is a no-fly zone today because I'm filming this video. Like, obviously, what? In any case, keep binging, I love you, and I will see you next time.